Hi everyone, it's Vikie Shanks here again. I just wanted to say a few words about going back to school, especially at the moment with COVID for, gosh, it's a year, isn't it now? It's really hard. I think everyone is finding going back to what they were doing before hard, and particularly children going back to school because people have grown a lot. It's been a year, so people change. And I think a child who's on the autistic spectrum is going to particularly struggle because there will be different dynamics when they go back to school. So it's going to be hard. It's a difficult one to place. If a child has an EHCP, then obviously you can talk to the school and there are certain things that they're obliged to do to help. But even if your child doesn't have an EHCP, the school should still be very willing to talk to you and have a look at maybe what's gone wrong and whether they can correct some things, or I don't know, pair people up with someone else. I'm thinking specifically of a question that someone asked in the Autism one-on-one group today. But generally for children going back to school, it is going to be hard. And I think you can't make a snap judgment on it. You need to explore all avenues before you decide that you need to take them out of school or whatever, especially when they're further on in school in year 10. It's very hard because that's GCSE years? I'm old. It used to be GCEs. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, yes, so whatever they are. It's a difficult one to do it at home because it becomes more complex. So for parents, it's a harder thing to do. Having said that, there are an enormous number of support groups now for people who are homeschooling and tutors available if you can afford to pay them. So there are options for homeschooling. I feel that a conversation with the school would be the first option, and see what they've noticed and if they can shed any light on the reasons why things may have changed. Look at things that they can do to support your child, and probably encourage your child to see this as the final part of the school system that they're currently in, and just try to encourage them to get through it in whatever way they can. I was talking to my daughter just before I did this, and she said maybe take a book in, try and get totally engrossed in what they're doing at school, especially if they are academic. If they can get really, really into what they're doing and kind of try to ignore what's going on outside, and then know that they've got home as a safe haven later. But it really is exploring the options, and it may be, if a friendship group has broken down, maybe getting the friends together with the school and maybe just chatting about it and seeing what's happened. Or maybe there's another person they can buddy up with that can be that emotional support at school that they need. There are options, there are things you can do. And I think from my personal experience with my children, I feel that taking them out of school is kind of the last option. It's worth exploring every other avenue before you take that step, because homeschooling is hard, and everyone knows how hard it is now because everyone's done it. It's quite funny because it used to be quite a niche thing, but now everyone's done homeschooling and understands how tricky it can be. There might be some lessons that she can still do from home if that can be arranged with the school. That might be an option that might sort of fall between the two. But for anyone, on a more general note, for anyone whose children have gone back to school, if they're on the autistic spectrum, I think it's only natural to know that there will be things that don't run very smoothly at first. But I would encourage you, again from my experience, I would encourage you to stick with it and see if you can find ways to make it better. And as always, with anything with a child on the spectrum, it's trying to dig down underneath and finding out what the core problem is, if you can really get down to it, because what seems to be on the surface isn't always what actually is the big problem. So it's digging down and really trying to search for that and looking for clues and trying to solve the real core issue rather than dealing with the behaviour or the fallout from it. I don't know if that's helped anyone. Maybe it has. I hope so. Another thing I think would be worth looking into is finding if there's a teacher they feel particularly close to. Maybe they can confide in them, or maybe that can be someone they go to at lunchtime. I know my children did this with some of their teachers, which was a way of just getting through that sort of difficult lunchtime period and the times when they're kind of at a loss to know what to do. Teachers can play a crucial role in keeping children in school, not just from an academic point of view, but also from the point of view of having someone they feel secure with, that understands them and gives them that shoulder to lean on. So I would definitely encourage you to go down that route, as well as talking to the Senko and all the other obvious people to have conversations with. So if you like this video, please do comment. It's really important because then we can get a conversation going. Do hit like and do subscribe, and then hit the little bell next to it, because if you do that you'll get notifications of the next videos when they come out. So I will see you soon.